The fate of the former Albuquerque cop accused of killing his wife should be in the hands of the jury today.
Yeah, testimony in Levi Chavez's first-degree murder trial wrapped up yesterday after an emotion-filled 5 weeks in court. News 13's David Romero is outside the Sandoval County Courthouse. It's where all the action has been and where it will be again today. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Matt. While closing arguments are set to begin here in just a few hours, and of course, this is after prosecutors called one last witness to the stand on rebuttal, and that was Joseph Cordova, Tara Chavez's dad.
Levi Chavez never asked us if we wanted any of Tara's belongings. Absolutely zero. Not only these 2 pieces of furniture, ma'am, but nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And that was one statement from Cordova as the state used him as a rebuttal witness to dispute some of Levi Chavez's testimony from Wednesday. Chavez is accused of killing his wife Tara, Cordova's daughter, in 2007 with his APD-issued gun. Now, as part of the 6 hours of Chavez's testimony on the stand, there was mention of an armoire that was painted and stained by Tara and her father shortly before her death. Cordova disputes Chavez's claim that Chavez offered it to Tara's family after she died.
I didn't want it. I was like, well, if they don't want it, why should I'm going to go throw it in the dump? And me and my dad went through in the dump.
And of course, the defense and prosecution will each have 3 hours to present their final closing arguments to the jury, and we will be here throughout the day and bring you the latest in later newscasts here on Channel 13. Matt, back to you.
All right, thank you, David. There's going to be a lot going on there today, and you can catch all of it as it happens in court with live streaming video. Check that out at KRQE.com. Well, a young man who lives at Lobo Village could be in a lot of trouble because police say he may have turned his apartment into a drug lab. Someone house-sitting at UNM's Lobo Village called police Wednesday night saying he found a bunch of chemicals in a kitchen and bathroom and thought they might be the makings of a meth lab. Police say the guy who lived there used to go to UNM rather, admitted the chemicals were his and said he wanted to cook up a psychedelic drug he found online. Police are testing the chemicals to figure out exactly what he could have been cooking. The young man could face drug charges because of this.
A young man could have his role in a Valencia high school hazing case wiped off his record. Curtis Peralta pleaded guilty to contributing to the delinquency of a minor and was sentenced back in February to a 1.5 supervised probation. Last week, Peralta's attorney requested that the judge cut that sentence in half, but the judge said no. Peralta admitted back in 2010 that he watched 2 other teens hold down another kid and sexually abused him. Peralta didn't take part in it, but he didn't try to stop it either. Now, the judge said his conviction would be wiped off the record books if he successfully completes his probation. Schools in New Mexico have their report cards this morning, but no one really is jumping for joy.
Nope, certainly wouldn't be at my house. Most of these grades are average. We're talking C's. Here are the numbers from the State Department of Education. Besides the C's, you can see 230 of them. There are a lot of B and D schools. Just 82 schools got an A, 85 got an F. The breakdown for APS, the state's largest district, is pretty much the same. Only 10 schools got A's, 16 got F's. This is the second year schools here in New Mexico have gotten these letter grades, and the state says most maintained or even improved their scores.
It's important to remember that these schools have to keep this up. I mean, you have to continue to show growth. They have to keep improving. A 70% graduation rate may be better than it was the year before, which was 63%. But we need to work to improve it even further.
Most schools that saw their grades slip were elementary schools. Test scores and improvement on test scores are the biggest factors in these grades, but they do also include attendance, how much parents are involved, and how students rate their teachers. 5:05 now. One man is sitting in a jail in Santa Fe this morning. Why, you ask? Well, because he just got arrested on DWI charges for not the first, second, third, fourth, but the 10th time. Take a look. This is Frank Seymour. Santa Fe police arrested him Wednesday after getting a call about a drunk driver. They say Mr. Seymour failed a field sobriety test and a breathalyzer test. He needs to come up with $20,000 cash if he wants out of jail.
Con artists in New Mexico are using the publisher's clearinghouse name to do their dirty work, and police tell us a Roswell woman almost fell for it. 57-year-old Kathy Jordan says a man called her Monday and told her she had won a Mercedes and $10,000. Now, in order for her to get the prizes, she had to send him $3,200. But when the man did not show up the next day with the gifts, she knew something was wrong. Jordan says she learned the hard way. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I really did, and I feel so stupid.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Jordan isn't the only one who has fallen for this scheme. Roswell police say within the past year they have seen at least 15 similar cases. Well, today is your last chance to say goodbye to Lonesome Dave Cargo, the maverick who became the state's youngest governor back in 1966 when he was just 37 years old.
It's definitely mixed feelings of sadness, but also happiness and joy.
Governor Cargo's body was lying in state at the Capitol Rotunda in Santa Fe yesterday. Friends, family, and former governors talked about their memories of Cargo. He was elected in 1966 and served 2 terms. Cargo had a stroke a couple of years ago. He died last week at an Albuquerque nursing home. He was 84 years old. A funeral mass is being held this morning at St. Francis Basilica at 10 a.m. He will then be buried at the Santa Fe National Cemetery.